Good evening and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. How is everybody tonight? I hope you're well. I hope you've had a great weekend playing games or painting your miniatures. So tonight you join me for another painting workshop with Pascal, and tonight he is going to be working on Aristeia's Kozmo. Yes, one of the combatants from the Human Sphere's greatest sports show. And we're going to see Pascal paint up this quite unique miniature this evening. And welcoming Pascal to the channel. How are you, sir?
Very good evening, guys. And hello, Monkeys with Fire. Very good to be here again.
So then, tonight you are going to be painting Kozmo from Aristeia from Corvus Belli. How's that been going? Because I know you've been working on it over the last couple of weeks.
It's been going. Yeah, it's a really fun model to paint. Difficult. I think I've made myself a couple of wrong choices that made my work more difficult. Not wrong, but like for instance, painting upper panels before I did the lower panels. So it's harder to reach now, and making like smudges and stuff. But it's nothing that I can fix right now. But so far, I think it's a really cool model, and it's going great.
Excellent. Okay. And so what will be the focus then of tonight's stream? What are you going to be working on?
So I'm going to, everybody's seen the model, right? So I'm going to paint the big dome, which is his face, actually. And I'm going to do that one. It's going to be, I've made it myself a bit difficult to do it, because in general, it's actually like a really big gem. You know, it's a glass dome with some colors inside. But at the same time, there's a face projecting from the inside. So that's an extra layer in there that's gonna mess with the colors and the shines and whatnot. So I'm gonna try to emulate that as best as I can.
Sounds exciting. Can't wait.
Oh yeah. So that's actually what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to. So I've spoken with you about this before. I've been working this part out in my head for the last week, and this is what I do a lot. I'm painting the model or painting parts of the model in my head beforehand. So I'm thinking about what should I do first, how am I going to approach it, what colors am I going to use, and I'm physically painting it in my head. And this part has really been keeping me up a couple of nights, actually, just figuring out how to do it. And I'm not completely confident in how to do it, but what I'm going to try today, and let's hope it's going to work, is what's called the loaded brush technique. Sorry, I was almost going to say the two brush blending, but it's the loaded brush technique. Ben Comets has made that like a thing, like his thing, but I think it's actually a technique that's, well, it's kind of wet blending, but with one brush. So I'm going to try that for a big part of it, making sure it's like blending in a quick and easy way. Well, I'm saying easy, but it's hard to master, actually. So the green panels first, and I've tried to do the lighting that you can see much light up these panels, but if I'm going to turn it, there's shades on this. And this is actually a good trick to create a volume in mechanic pieces to actually paint each panel in a different color. So light color, dark color. Here you can see it, light color. This is actually just a darker color. But in places like these, I tried to do a blend from light to dark. So I did the green panel lines, and then I did the white bits. And this was really, really hard, actually, to do a nice even coat of whites without it being white. So actually, this is like a creme with a hint of green in it, just to tie it in with the rest of the model. And again, just doing some grays in different areas to give it volumes, like these parts. And finally, I did the glowy pink bits. So that's as far as I got today. I still need to do the black parts, and of course the dome. So I'm going to do the sphere, and basically, like I said, this is going to be like a huge gem. And if you've ever painted gems, you know what I'm talking about. Like a gem is an inverted sphere, actually. So I'm going to paint it light on the bottom, dark on the top. And after that, what you're seeing actually at that point is the reflection from the back side of the sphere going through the glass on the inside. This is why it's inverted. You know, if you've ever seen like a glass of water where images are inverted, that's exactly the same. Then I'm gonna have to paint the reflections of the light on top of the glass. So there's gonna be like white reflections up in the top. That's the usual sphere, but in this case, like I see on the card, there we go. Here's the dome, and there's this face in here. So I envisioned this as like a projected face directly from the inside on the back part of the glass dome. Do I make sense?
Yeah, like a computerized sort of face, isn't
exactly.
it?
So this is in front of the blue reflection from the back side, but in front of the light reflection of the glass. This is night blue. This is really dark. I can put that on my plate. And next to that, I'm going to put some white, like pure white. There we go. The thing is, I don't want the white to be diluted at this point. I'm going to wet my brush. This is a big brush. This is number 2. And I really need a brush with a lot of volume, a lot of reservoir in it. I'm going to fill it with the blue. I'm going to fill the volume, the reservoir with the blue. And then I'm going to dip the tip into the white. Just a little bit. There you got a tip of white with a reservoir of blue. Now here comes the fun. I hope. Please pray for me. First I'm going to do the white line. And I'm going to push the brush. And by pushing the brush, using the like the pressure of the brush, I'm going to release the reservoir, making it free. And in that motion, I'm going to blend it all in one go with the white. I can go back a bit and make it a bit nicer. And often this is the point where I mess things up. See how easy that gave?
Yeah, that was awesome. Do it again.
I can. There's no problem. I'm going to turn it right side up, and it could have been a bit better, but it's okay. It's still wet.
Sarah's saying magic. Burn him! Burn him at the stake.
Isn't it? Right. So actually, it's an easy technique to learn, but it's really difficult to master. And I know I cannot say that I have, but I try. And that's the fun part, just trying. There we go. This is actually a really big surface to do it. That sometimes that's what makes it easier, and sometimes it's just actually making it harder because you really need to get those sways in, and make it really smooth. I'm gonna tidy it up a bit, just to make it a bit darker on the top. So I'm gonna do another glaze over it. Gotta make sure it's actually dry. Gonna touch up the bright whites underneath a bit. Let me see if you can see it. There. So that's the first step. So now I'm going to go to the hard part. So like I said, I'm going to build it up in layers. So the first layer is done, which is the blue. And now I'm going to do the face. And for that, I need to paint it pink, squid pink from Game Color. I know that these colors are not opaque enough to cover it with the blue. Come on, yeah, there we go. And I'm adding scale 75 white to it. And that's going to make it so much more opaque. That could be bigger. There we go. Still bigger. There we go. Making it nice and even. And I'm making sure to leave that white line from the previous layer there. Just to have definition of all the shapes. And make it as if the face is really floating in there. There we go. The good thing about having everything as a much lighter color than I need to have it is that I only need to do shades from this point on. So I'm going to go with Warlord Purple, sorry, which is this one. And I'm going to add that to the mix. I'm just going to glaze in the shades. Oh, this is amazing.
That's really
that.
Cool. Yeah.
It's already taking shape. At this point, I'm really following the image. So where we did the blue as a gem where there's dark on top and light on the bottom, as well as in this image actually. So there's dark on top and probably light on the bottom. The pink sphere is actually light at the top and dark at the bottom. And actually, this makes for pretty good contrast in the image. So this is a good thing. You see that I'm really trying to keep that round shape in there. This is about as far as I'm going to get with this color. I'm going to darken it up a bit again. Okay. So let's put in the eyes. The eyes in the mouth. And for that, I'm still going to go add a bit more of this dark color. Not too much. There we go. You'd think I would have this, you know, since I did the weathering stuff. Oh, come on. I would usually do this with an extra binocular on my head, but considering the cameras and all, that's not an option right now. I think that's the one.
Yeah.
More. There we go. Now it's the hardest part, because the eyes were actually easy. I hope I might. Wait a minute. Can I take another brush? Hope that this one's even tighter. Right. So here's the mouth. It's like a kitty smile, something like that. should have used this brush before. Dang it. And there's a darker line around the entire face. Yeah. There we go. Ooh. Okay. So far so good. So now comes the hard part. I've got to paint in some reflections, because at this point this is just a painted on sticker, I guess, onto a glass surface. But it's got to be on the other side of glass. So we've got to create some. Well, first of all, we've got to create some reflections, like these reflections, you know, so like this. So there's some brightness over here, just some spots here and there. But this part I want to try to emulate. So this is like the glow of this glow, you know, the brightest part of the gem that's spilling over into the figure. So to do that, I'm gonna glaze in some whites. What? Yeah. And this is really gonna freak me out probably, because if there's something really hard to glaze in, it's white. It just tend to get chalky and too opaque. See how that works already?
Yeah.
Bit of fading out. I just put in a like a round dot here, really bright white, as if to say that there's a big reflection here. Who's to say where from? But I painted it like that so that it overlaps just a little bit the pink figure, and then with the glaze I can feather that out a bit, just a bit. You still need to see it as a bright dot, but it can fade out to the sides. There we go. This line in. There we go. That's the underside. Let's go to the top. Yeah. Gonna do something a bit similar. First I'm gonna make a light blue. There we go. Let's put a happy little dot. Like the Bob Ross it.
Absolutely.
So if there's like there, then I've got to put a dot over here. This is the big one. If I want to be really cool, and this is a big surface, so I really should be able to pull this one off. I'm gonna make one edge of this circle, this side here. I'm gonna try to make that as sharp as possible. So this one, and on the other side, I'm gonna fade it away. There we go. Now I'm gonna put some more white into that light blue color. And go really stark. and put the light in there. That's one. There we go. And to make that even more like a glint, I'm going to do one more right there. And this one I can keep it like this. Maybe it's not just that stark as, just as strong as this big light there. Just a bit more white added to it. There we go, now it's shiny. There we go. Notice how I'm avoiding to touch the sharp edge here. This is actually really often a game of going back and forth, hitting the light, and then darkening it a bit again, hitting the light again, etc., etc. Just a bit. There we go. That's looking cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So you want to know a good trick to make a little dot like this really stand out, is to get some dark color, like this one. Put it just next to it. There, bam. And that white just got more white. There we go.
Yeah.
And I think this is it. So to do a little recap of what I did, first of all, loaded brush technique. I'm going to explain it again, which is filling up a brush with a big reservoir. So I used number 2, filling it up with a diluted version of paint. The blue I used was a very wet blue already, or a runny blue, I should say. I'm filling up my reservoir with that color, then I'm going to dip the tip into bright white, which is not diluted, and then I just put on that first tip of white as a line in the on the surface, and by applying pressure on the reservoir, I'm going to release that blue into that brush, into that color, and then I'm going to be able to blend it all, creating a blend by where the white is loosening its strength and the blue is gaining in strength, and thus you get a nice blend. That's the technical, the scientific explanation of it, but it's something you've got to feel how that pressure works. So in just 3 seconds, I put in a quick blend. Then I did a freehand with the matte colors, mainly with some some scale color whites in there. Freehand of the face, really nice doing. And glazing in some shades in there, and freehanding the eyes and the mouth. And after that, I put in some light spots here and there, and just by doing some like diluted first spots and then fading those out into the area, you're able to create some light that's shining all over that glass dome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the remarks. And I really hope you guys are going to try this out. It's going to be amazing the first time you're going to do it. So really, that loaded brush technique, you really should try it out. It's amazing.
Thank you so much, Pascal, as always.
Okay, have a good night. Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye for now, then.
Bye-bye.
And there we go, then. So our thanks to Pascal for a very entertaining and informative workshop this evening. That was really good. All right, then. So have a good evening or the rest of your day. and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening. But until then, bye-bye for now.